Hey, everybody, it's Greg with Advantage One Brokers. And today I have a really, really special guest. I'd like to introduce a warm welcome to the president of Advantage One Brokers, Mr. Spencer Long. How are you doing, Spence?
Doing good. Hey, everybody. And Greg, thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, yeah, man, this is awesome. So, first off, how's the past 72 hours been?
Oh, it has been all hands on deck, to
Yeah,
say the very least. It has been an absolute grind, but we're loving every second of it.
yeah.
It's really exciting talking to so many people and seeing how we might be a good fit for them or help them with what they're struggling with. So it's been a grind. We've probably been on the phone 12 hours a day every day, but loving every minute of it.
It's been the reach, the people, the amount of people, the outpour of people reaching out that are just like, hey, we see the system, we love your system, we want help.
Right.
It's been
Right.
massive and it's been fantastic. And so and I've told this to all the agents that I've talked to, the countless agents that I've talked to in the last 72 hours, which is like, hey, this has been like a tsunami of
Yep.
people. So just be patient. Well, we are literally all hands on deck. And I think one of the greatest things that I've noticed is the amount of support that Quility is giving
Oh, yeah.
because it was so big. It was just like it kind of hit all at once. And I was like, oh man, this is massive. This is a lot of
Right.
people. So they're just helping. And there's people like there's managers that are coming with their admins and everything. And
Right.
they're just like, hey, I'll throw in. And there's like no benefit to them.
Right.
That's
Right. Right.
fantastic. This is a team of
Huge.
teams. This is awesome.
100%.
100%.
100%.
So I'm like,
it's definitely, we have a lot of people to start thanking. I could give you a list of 50 people that have literally just jumped in out of nowhere and said, hey, how can I help? What can I do? So it's really been an amazing thing to see everyone come in and try to help so many people with the onboarding process and answer any questions they have about just the Advantage One Brokers team.
Yeah, so I'm really impressed just with the team overall in this first initial onboarding process. And so and thank you to the many countless managers and agents and staff members that have come to pitch in. If you're watching this, thank you guys. So this has been fantastic. So Spencer, you're the president of the company and you write 50K a week. Mortgage protection. A month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, a correction, a month, but still 50K a month.
You. I can't do what you do. No.
I've only done 50K in a week like twice. How do you manage that? How do you juggle that? Like, I think first off, that's phenomenal that you're keeping your act sharp. You're keeping your edge sharp. You're making sure that you're always relevant,
right?
Because you're staying in the field.
I like to be in the trenches, right? I mean, I like to be able to relate to the agents that we're talking to. So if I have someone talk to me about they're struggling with leads, I can say, I'll call them with you. A lot of the guys that actually work directly with my team out here in the Sacramento area, one of my favorite objections people are getting over the phone is, hey, I already got the information. When they're working B leads, so older leads, they get a ton of these stacks of people saying, hey, don't call me, take me off your list, I already got it. I say, give me those. Give me all of those. Those are gold mines. And I'll actually call all of them with everybody because that excites me. We'll literally close, 10 applications and 10 deals out of 12 of those people have already said no, that they already got it. They don't call them again. We call them back. And now they're saying yes. So, again, I've been an agent for 10 years, and it's hard to kind of turn off the switch where I've always been an agent first. I identify as an agent. And again, as we've continued to grow this business, granted, I've definitely dialed it back a little bit as far as how much time I'm really dedicating as like an actual agent in the field. Where for me, you know what my routine is. I get 10 A leads a week, every single week. And if you really ask yourself, how long does it really take to go talk to 10 people and go meet with maybe 8 of them? So I'm in the field.
It doesn't take that long.
Yeah, I'm maybe in the field for 15 hours. And so it's hard to say. I also, on a money standpoint, to say no to $40,000, $50,000 a month for 15 hours worth of a week of work, and it gives me the opportunity to truly lead from the front, duplicate myself, take agents out in the field and ride-alongs, is a huge, powerful piece to it as well.
Absolutely. And so let's I'm going to back up because you just talked about something that I really like. So,
Sure.
is, hey, someone says I already got it. I already got taken care of.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. How do you overcome that objection on the phone?
There's a few different ways.
Okay.
What's
What's your favorite? What's your number one favorite? I'll do my number one favorite.
Okay.
Okay.
So the way I'll address that is, that's actually why I'm calling, because I don't know, who sold you the policy but 6 months ago to a year ago, but they made you a promise that if the rates were ever got cheaper, we'd let you know, so you always had the best deal out there. That's why I'm calling. I just need to make sure you're still in the same health bracket as you were. Nothing's changed medically. I'm going to stop by, grab a couple signatures from you, and I'll show you what your new rate will be. What's a good day I can stop by, Monday or Tuesday? And what it does, it's very assumptive, right? It's very, very assumptive.
Yeah.
But I usually give this analogy. If someone calls you up randomly and they say, hey, I can save you 15% on your car insurance, right? Mm-hmm. What are you going to think? No, you can't. That's not worth my time. I already got it taken care of. No, you don't.
Yeah.
But Greg, who's your car insurance with right now?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's
USAA. I mean, I'm with USAA, but I don't know what the person is.
USAA. So imagine if someone calls you up. This is a little bit of a different kind of analogy, but imagine if someone calls you up from USAA and they say, hey, I can save you 15% of your car insurance. It is a different type of situation, a different level of understanding.
Yeah.
So we're kind of just using psychology in that kind of way to overcome the objection. Mm-hmm. Just to say, hey, I don't need to convince you on why you need this anymore. You already have it. Let me just help you and lower your rate, because every single time, guys, if we ever get into a price battle, if they've gotten a policy in the last 3 years, we are going to win every single time. Mm-hmm. And be very, very assumptive, be committed to it. Don't leave any kind of thing to question. Yeah. So for example, a lot of people where they run into problems is they say, I should be able to, or I might be able to save you 15%. Yeah. Don't leave any room for doubt. I can save you a minimum of 15%. I'm doing you a favor, not me a favor.
Yeah. Yep. So what I do for my price objection on mortgage protection is, if someone, we got Kevin Jensen jumping in. If somebody answers and says, yeah, I've already got taken care of. Then I say, actually, Spencer, no, that's perfect. I see that right here. That's the reason I'm calling.
Same thing. I like
it. And I also see that we had a rate change in the state of Texas. And so I'm coming by just to make sure that you have the most up-to-date rate. And I'm going to come by. And if you do, fantastic, no worries. But if you don't, I'm going to get you taken care of and get it fixed for you.
You got it.
So I'm going to be there tomorrow at this time. I got this time available. Which time is best for you? And it's very, like you said, very assumptive, very, very assumptive. And it just cuts out all the BS. I don't have to be like, well, there's one I used to do. This is what I used to do is hey, Spencer, that's perfect. That's actually why I'm calling. What I found is that 9 times out of 10, people have been given the wrong policy. Good people, the right people have been given the wrong policy. That doesn't really make sense for them. So I'm able to come out and kind of review your policy, make sure it is the best policy for you, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of talking there.
There is.
Everybody understands a rate change. Hey, there's a rate change. I'll make sure we get you on the right rate. If you have the most up-to-date rate, awesome. If not, I'm going to get it fixed for you. Sound fair? Okay. I got tomorrow available. Boom, boom, boom. I like it. Very simple, very simple.
I'm sorry, I got to keep going, because this, just to make it clear for everybody, I get excited about this objection, because I usually say that all the objections out there on the phone, and the phone of what we do is crucial. If there's one objection to truly master, it's this one. And it can literally get you an extra 3 to 4 sales in your bag just by really mastering this one objection. Mm-hmm. So like you kind of point out, Greg, like a lot of people, they go, I already got it, don't call again, click. And they're not going to give you that opportunity to go back and forth and talk and use so much verbiage. Mm-hmm. So another quick one, again, there's a lot of different ways you can do. I mean, you kind of have to assess the situation of who you're talking to. But another one I use is, great, you got the one that's free, right? You got the free one. And they usually, it doesn't matter who they are, they're going to pause. What do you mean free? Right? And they get, maybe I have attitude with it. What do you mean free? Yeah, you got the one that gives you all of your money back if you don't use it. And essentially over a 20 or 30-year period, it gives you all your money back, essentially giving you free coverage over the 30-year period. You got that one, right? Because if you didn't, I think you have the old mortgage protection plan.
It's good.
You see how the new options are working in your area. I'm going to be out in your area anyways for 10 minutes. Let me just stop right really quick. Make sure you have the new one and we can take care of you.
You have the old one. Let me come back and get you the new. I love that, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's really good.
There's a lot of ones specifically for that objection. They all work depending on who you're talking to. But again, the biggest idea, guys, with the phone calls is, especially if you're meeting face-to-face still, we got to just get in front of them. Because you need to believe in yourself enough and what we're actually offering to our clients that if we do have the opportunity to get in front of them, we can show value, we can build commitment and get a sale every single time.
Exactly. And that belief in yourself, I love that concept. And for those of you that are in sales, you need one, you need to be reading. Okay. And two, you need to read some Grant Cardone. So I'm gonna do a little plug here. Sell or Be Sold, great book. But he talks about like the concept behind Sell or Be Sold is being so sold on yourself, being so sold on your product and what you offer, the services, and being so sold on your abilities that the sales process really is a battle between you and the person that you're talking to. Because when they're like, I don't need it, they're selling you that they don't need. When they do, they've already signed up for the coverage. They're looking for the coverage. So they sold you the bill of goods and you took it. But if you're so convicted, you're so sold on your ability, you're not going to get sold on the phone because you believe in your ability to help them with the best possible product and help them with either getting them a cashback option or saving on the rate or whatever it is. And so it takes that, when you have that conviction, whether it's on the phone or in the home, it's a game changer. So yeah, man, dude, I like that. That was a good one. So for those of you watching, make sure you're taking notes and go back and rewind and start practicing that one. So and the reason why I'm going over this stuff is because we have a lot of agents that are coming on board that have never worked mortgage protection leads. And they're like, I don't know how to work mortgage protection leads. Do they have videos for training? I was like, don't worry, we got training. We're training. But I think doing a good video like this with a nice live that they can go back and refer to with the master himself, going over his script on the phone and his in-home. So I actually learned my mortgage protection script when a long time ago. So from somebody that he was really, really good. And he still is. He's fantastic. And I learned it when I was part of Kevin Jensen's company. And so I don't even know if we can say that on here. I don't know, but
you can say, you're fine.
Okay. So it's part of Assura. So that's where I learned mortgage protection, was when I was working at Assura. And we used to do this same exact system, which was we got 10A leads a week. We dialed for 2 hours on a Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then we would set our appointments for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evening. And that was it. it was like 8 to 9 appointments we'd set. And then we'd write 5 to 10K a week. And we had like Thursday, Friday off, Sunday off, and Sunday morning, just 8 to 10, we'd come in the office, we'd dial again. And that was week after week after week after week. As long as you had A leads coming in, you were good. And so anywho, I learned my mortgage protection script there. So I want to hear your mortgage protection script on the phone and see if it's,
it's probably the same, right?
It might be, we'll see.
Usually I'll say like the phone script is almost verbatim, the exact same thing every single time, because it's like 4 sentences. Where the in-house presentation, that becomes a little bit more unique depending on the individual. Some of the verbiage might be changed, but the phone script is pretty simple. So go, ring, ring. Hello, Greg.
Hello.
Hey, Greg. My name is Spencer. I work for a company called Advantage One Brokers. We work alongside your lender, Wells Fargo. We're just shooting you a call because it looks like about a week or 2 ago, we got a letter from you looking for some mortgage protection information. And I'm actually going to be out in your area this week on a few different appointments. I just need to schedule a time with you for about 15 minutes. Stop by really quick, drop that information off to you, and answer any questions you may have. What's a good day that works better for you, Monday or Tuesday? Monday, okay, I have mornings and afternoons available. Do you prefer mornings or afternoons? Mornings, okay, how about we shoot for 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock it is. So again, Greg, my name is Spencer. I got it down for Monday at 10, and I'll see you then. That's it.
That's very simple. That's very direct. I like it. Okay. So mine's a little different. Mine's a lot
Okay.
different, actually.
Okay.
So mine's a lot longer, but it builds a lot of value. So
Okay.
I want you to actually pretend like you're the client.
Okay.
Okay. So, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Spencer.
Yeah, this is him.
Hey, Spencer. Hey, this is Greg, and I'm calling about the mortgage protection response card that you filled out on your mortgage through Chase Bank.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the kind of protection that if anything were to happen to you, Spencer, or your spouse, that it would actually pay off the mortgage for you. And that's what you guys were looking for, correct?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So hey, Spencer, I just got a couple of questions. I'll have you right off the phone. So first off, I have the mortgage amount as 1.2 million, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And was that a new home purchase or a refinance?
Yeah, just purchased it.
Just purchased it. Awesome. Congratulations. How do you love it?
We're still moving.
You still move.
So
You still run into the walls at night?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That's fantastic, man. And how many years you do that loan for?
30 years.
30 years. Perfect. And then what's the approximate monthly mortgage payment with taxes, insurance, everything all rolled in?
6,000.
6,000. All right. And are you planning to pay that house off early?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
No worries. Okay. Now I get a lot of these response cards in every single week. So I just got to ask you a couple of medical questions. In the past 7 years, Spencer, have you or your wife, either one of you, had any major medical issues? I'm talking cancer, stroke, heart attack, diabetes requiring insulin, anything like that?
Nope, we're good to go. We've been fortunate.
Oh, fantastic. What about anything small, such as high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes with
I got some high blood pressure.
High blood pressure?
Yep.
No worries. Anything else?
That's it.
How many pills do you take for high blood pressure?
2.
2. And then what about your wife?
I know she's as healthy as a horse.
Healthy as a horse. And she's going to outlive us all. Love it.
That's her plan.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, you guys make my job really easy. I love it. Now, Spencer, the reason I'm asking these questions is because I'm a broker. And what that means for you is I have access to all the companies that provide this kind of protection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this information, I'm bounce it out across the system. I'm going to see what carriers come back. I'm going to kind of funnel through them, find the best companies, and then I'm going to find the best rate out of those best companies. Okay. I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you everything that I was able to find. And I'm going to go over it with you. Okay. So what is a good time that you get home, that you and your wife get home in the evening, get through the door?
Usually around 5 o'clock.
Around 5 o'clock. Perfect. And what's your wife's name so I know how to address her?
Madeline.
Madeline. Awesome. So now tomorrow, I have some availability tomorrow, Spencer. It wouldn't be till 6:30, but I also have a 7:15 available. Which one of those would be best for you tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do 6:30.
6:30? Okay, perfect. Now for that address, I have 123 Main Street in Sacramento. Is that correct?
Right, correct.
Okay, perfect. And is that a gated community?
No.
It's not? Okay, perfect.
No.
And then what's the color of the house?
White.
White. Okay, awesome. And then can I park in the driveway?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
I like that.
Yeah. Now when I get there, I'm going to be driving a large black Ford Expedition. Okay. So you'll know it's me when I park there. When you see me come out, I'm a big dude. I'm 6'7", 250. I look like I play for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't. Don't ask me for an autograph. It doesn't do you any good, man. Okay. So I look forward to seeing you and Madeline tomorrow at 6:30. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. See you then, sir. So I'm going to break down this and like why I do everything. So the first part is really like is grabbing your attention by saying, hey, you're calling about the mortgage protection response code you filled out through your mortgage with this. So your mortgage with Chase Bank. So instant credibility. They're like, oh yeah. Okay. And then I'm getting your buy-in saying, hey, this is the kind of protection that if anything were to happen to you guys, that this would pay off your home so you guys get to keep it. And that's what you're looking for, correct? Now, a lot of times you're going to get a yes. Sometimes every once in a while you're going to get yeah, we were just looking for some rates. No matter what, it's like perfect. That's exactly how I'm going to help you out with. And then, because you never want to like disagree with the client on the phone. You always just want to agree because we're just making the appointment. So I get all the mortgage information because that gives me, and then I get the health information because that's going to give me an idea. I'm going to prep some information. So it's going to expedite my in-home. So I already know going into it, I know what programs I'm looking at. I know what plans, what price. I'm gonna price all this beforehand. So I actually come prepared, makes my appointment real quick. Okay. But then at the end, I'm basically getting even more buy-in. And I like that the appointment, or it takes this long to set my appointment, because you've been on the phone with me so long, and I'm being very memorable. So at the end, you're actually going to be like, man, that was a good guy. Because I started off making jokes about, you run into the walls. You're like, and you remember me, you're more likely to show up.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas, and then at the end, I'm like, hey, I'm 6'7", 250. They look like play. Every single time people laugh at that. Every single time. And so when people think back to conversations, they think back to the beginning and the end. They kind of forget the middle. It's kind of like an hourglass. And so at the end, they remember that me kind of joking, and they're like, this is going to be good, and I want them to think that. So it's more likely that they'll show. And then when I get there, they're like, hey, Greg. And I'm like, man, you are big. So
I like it. And there's obviously different
there's difference
and techniques that work, because I have my own different psychology of it versus your psychology of it.
Yep.
My mindset is, even if they're not interested, and nothing they can say on the phone is going to deter me from wanting to go meet with them.
Exactly.
For example, they could say they currently are going through chemotherapy. I still want to go meet with them.
Exactly.
They could say on the phone, oh, I thought this was for mortgage insurance. I still want to go meet with them, because I know if I'm in meeting with them face to face, that I'm going to have some at least opportunity to swing the bat and convert it into a sale. And so for me, in our kind of presentations and some of our training, we teach you, no matter what the situation is, how to pivot on the spot. And when you're talking about preparation for the appointment, we have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. And so no matter who we're meeting with, if they're super healthy, plan A. If they got cancer 5 years ago, plan B. And if they are really messed up, plan C. So no matter what they're running into, they have some type of way to kind of operate. But the thing I'll kind of sometimes battle with agents, and you might be one of these agents on the phone, is trying to give too much information over the phone where they don't need to meet with you anymore sometimes runs a dangerous line.
Yes,
so
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so my mentality is I want to get the appointment and then get off the phone as fast as possible.
Yeah.
First off, because I got other people to call, and I want to go meet with 20 people this week if I can. And then secondly is, I don't want them, if they sent in this form for something very specific, they want to know, hey, does it include the living benefits of disability or long-term care? I don't want to answer that question until I'm sitting down with them face to face. So just stuff like that.
You're absolutely right. When you are on the phone with them longer, they are more likely to start asking you questions. That is 1,000% true. And so you have to be very good at deflecting and not falling prey to answering those questions.
Right.
You have to be very, very good at that. And
you're right. It's a teeter-totter, because at the same time, you are building credibility. You are building value. You're becoming memorable. And they're going to be more likely to meet with you. So it's just kind of that balancing act of where do you want to dedicate your time to as well.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
So, and I've gotten, I believe me, I felt probably multiple times where they asked me questions and I answered, and then they ask another one and then I answer, and then they ask another one and then I answer, and they're like, you know what? I actually think I have protection like this. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I think I'm no longer interested. Actually, I think I don't even worry about coming out, click before I can even respond. I'm like, no, no. So
some of them are almost, they're trying to gauge, like, hey, is this life insurance? Is it just life insurance? And for those of you who don't already know this that are new to the game, if someone asks me point blank, is this life insurance? I say, no, it has some of the same kind of characteristics as a life insurance policy, but a life insurance plan is if you die. With mortgage, and I think it's the most powerful statement that we can use in our presentation, that I use line by line, word for word, is you do not have to die to receive the death benefit. Again, it just instantly grabs their attention. Well, what are you talking about? I don't have to die to get the death benefit. And I think that's one of the biggest missed markets of our industry, is talking about living benefits. And a lot of agents kind of drop the ball on it. And sometimes it's literally going to put the person over the edge if they're, on the fence about even getting a plan or not. And that's all they needed to hear is, oh my gosh, it has long-term care benefits as well. So yeah.
So I can see how you can, how often do you usually spend on the phone just to set your appointment, your 10 appointments a week? Does like probably like 2 hours, an hour or two.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll call Monday through Thursday, actually. I'll call Monday through Thursday, but again, it's calling 10 or 15, 20 people. So maybe 20 minutes a day, 4 times a week.
And you're just setting for like the next day.
Yep.
That's legit.
And so maybe that's also how I'm trying to avoid having a no-show.
Is it your 24 Monday, hours out? That makes sense.
You got it. I'm scheduling for Tuesday. I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'll even say, hey, are you home right now? I'll be there in an hour. I'll be there in an hour. So just stuff like that.
No, it's fantastic. I like it. So now when we sat down, when I came out of California and I visited you guys,
yep.
You were like, my appointments last 17 minutes, like on the dot every time. So we don't have to break down your entire appointment, but talk through like your mentality, talk through how you structure it and how you keep it so short.
Everything is going back to assumptive behavior. Okay. And there's a lot of psychology in all the presentations and scripting that we do. For those of you who don't know, my wife is greatly involved in my business. She's been with me since we were in high school. So we started this business together. And we used to role play when we were just starting out as a brand new agent for hours and hours and hours every day for months and months and months. And literally over 5 years, we created our own scripting. And we probably made 100 adjustments. And I almost looked at it as like solving a puzzle. We're constantly moving pieces around, seeing what works better than other kind of things. So that's kind of
is a scientific method.
100%. Yeah. 100%. So that's how we started developing our scripting. But the whole purpose of the script or the presentation is to overcome objections before we get them, A. B, keep it super stupid simple. Okay, where I could explain it to my 2-year-old son and he can get it.
Yeah.
Okay. That level of simplicity is huge. I've seen a lot of our competition where they try to educate everything that they know as an agent onto the client within 30 minutes, and it's just not going to happen. And going back to keeping it simple, I give 2 options. 2 options.
I do the same.
Because people are so indecisive about what they want to do. If you ask your significant other tonight, hey, where do you want to go to dinner? I don't know, right? It's always, I don't know. But if you say, hey, we're going to go to Cheesecake Factory or Denny's, which one do you want?
Cheesecake Factory.
Right, okay, but I'm giving you, it's not I don't know. I don't know is not an option anymore.
Yeah.
And even with that, when we're getting 2 options, I bring up Cheesecake Factory or Denny's, we can actually use certain verbiage to kind of massage them into the direction we want them to go to. Because sometimes even giving 2 options, you're still going to get the objection. And a lot of people don't realize it is an objection of, I don't know what option I want yet. I need to talk to so-and-so. I need to think about it. I need to look at my finances. Are all objections. So sometimes we have to massage them and use certain verbiage and dialogue to kind of get them to go one option versus the other option.
Yeah.
So that's B, is just keeping it simple, using assumptive behavior. And I kind of consider myself like a shepherd, where I'm kind of just leading them through the entire presentation process, where I'm giving them certain things in their back of their head they start thinking about. And when it comes time to ask them, hey, which direction you wanted to go, or which option do you want to choose, or hey, let's fill out a presentation, I already know what answer they're going to say because I've been pretty much using that kind of verbiage that entire time to point that out. For example, if we're talking about option 1 and option 2 being money back return of premium or just a regular term, and I want them to choose a return of premium, what I might say is, so option 1, it's going to give you the coverage that you're looking for and need, right? So right now you have a $300,000 mortgage for 30 years. Anything happens from now until 30 years, you're fully covered, the full payoff, $300,000. However, after 30 years, if you're still here, which hopefully you are, You just go your way, the company goes their way, and you had a good peace of mind all those years. Now, option 2 gives you the same benefits as option number 1, but now after that 30 years, if nothing's happened, which again, hopefully nothing has, you get 100% of your money back, essentially creating a net cost of 0, like a free savings account while being covered for 30 years. Okay, so you can just tell I'm getting excited. First off, I'm getting a lot excited, and they're going to follow my positivity because I try to be, leading them again. So just certain kind of things like that, voice fluctuation, pausing in certain kind of points make a huge, huge difference. A lot of the agents that work out of the office here directly with me, they'll know I literally critique them on single words is another big thing too. Using the, a question versus a statement, rather than asking, hey, do you want to fill out an application? Tell them we're going to fill out an application.
I always say, so let's do this.
I like it.
So let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and ask you some medical questions, check your MIB. We're going to see if we can even get you approved. What's your middle initial?
You got it. Same thing. I say, how about we do this? So same thing.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that. Yeah, I say that all the time.
It works, but it works. It's very because people want to be led. So when you're that assumptive in the home, and you're right, I like to say, hey, based on so I usually show them options after they've answered some medical questions, and I've asked them that question. I'm like already in the application, that's medical questions. And I'm like, hey, based on the medical questions, the company thinks they can approve you. Now the company is saying that they can either A, cover your mortgage, blah, 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 or the company also says based on your mortgage, they think they can also provide you with another plan that would give you back all of your money. So based off that, so I put the onus on the company.
Like it.
So I'm like, so it's almost like
their
recognition.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, another controversial topic we'll throw out to everyone so you can see it.
Okay.
Do you, in the presentation, talk on specific prices and use the insurance company's name in your presentation?
Not until they've picked a plan. And so I don't talk about specific prices until after I've been in the application and I've gone through all the medical questions and asked them everything. Because I feel like the sales process is like I'm a shepherd leading them, but I'm leading them down a winding road in the woods. And I'm just saying, hey, let's go to the next bend. We're going to go to the next bend.
So before I kind of expand on that a little bit, let me ask you this, another one. Do you deliver your own policies?
No, I do not. I have it sent to them, sent directly to their house.
Okay.
And then I have an admin that calls them a week after they're approved to make sure that they got it and that they received it, and then ask them if they want to do a policy review with me and schedule that.
Okay. So I want to sidetrack here for a second if we can.
Okay.
So to give a lot of you guys know what my strategy is I get 10 A leads a week, every single week. But here's where the math gets a little quirky. I'll have 15 appointments a week. So it's obviously if you're a numbers guy, the math doesn't really add up. Well, if you're only getting 10 leads, how do you have 15 appointments? Because in those appointments, I do my own policy deliveries. And I think this is also another point I'm going to challenge a bunch of you guys. On the deliveries, there's a whole lot of opportunity that can be used in that delivery appointment. Because A, it's going to solidify the sale first off, where my persistency is probably like 95+%. So I'm not going to get any cancellations whatsoever because I know if they had any concerns, when I'm actually going to meet with them face to face again for the second time, I'm covering everything. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, the reason I'm using that delivery appointment is I'm really using it for another lead, because probably 50% of all the sales I make, I'm selling multiple policies. Mm-hmm. Where And it's not to just other people. I'm not talking about referrals outside the house. I'm talking about everything under the same roof. It could be, hey, you got your husband covered. What about your wife now? Well, my wife doesn't work. She just takes care of the kids. I don't know about how your household works, but I know for me, if my wife didn't come home tomorrow, it's going to be a huge expense on my business and my way of life to hire someone or take care of the kids full time. So that's when you talk about the wife. Or maybe it's the same person. Hey, congratulations, good on you. Here's your policy with American Amicable. You're set and taken care of for the next 30 years for mortgage protection. But let me ask you, Mr. Client, do you think you'll still need coverage after that 30 years? You may not need as much, right? Because your house is paid off. You may not even be in the same house. But do you think you'll still need something after that 30-year period? And again, majority of the time, the answer is, yeah, I do. Okay. So what I would recommend for you, Mr. Client, is what if we got you a whole life plan set up now that will outlive your 30-year plan? And again, 30 years is a long time. So it also gives you the benefit of saying after 30 years, you know what? I won the lottery. I don't need it anymore. I can't afford it anymore. I'm out. You can actually cancel that, get all of your money back, plus interest. Or you can say, you know what? I still really need the coverage. I can't afford to get new insurance at my age now, being 30 years older. I want to have that insurance continue for the rest of my life. And all you're doing is you're selling them a UL or an IUL. And you just turned one policy into 2 or 3. And oftentimes that second or third sale is going to be even larger than the first. You mentioned Grant Cardone. I'm a huge Grant Cardone fan too.
Upsell.
Upsell. Right? I forget what book it is, but he talks about it all the time.
It's in Sell or Be Sold.
Sell or Be Sold. He talks about all the time people will continue to make purchases to support their first sale. And again, my job, I say this a lot on all of our calls, my job is not to make a sale necessarily, but to become that family's insurance agent. Because whenever they think of insurance, they're going to think of me, and I'm going to be talking to their kids, I'm going to be talking to their grandparents, the family members, and I'm going to turn again one sale into 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So that's another reason I do deliver. You can obviously do it and be creative in the house the first appointment. But that's where I do it a little bit differently as well, maybe.
That is gold. That is gold. So I know the agents that are watching this are going to get a lot of value. So that's awesome.
Right.
So I can see why you're doing, $50K a month off of 10 A leads a week.
Yep.
Doing $50K a month. That's fantastic. Is there any other last points that you want to get to all the new agents coming on board, agents that have never done mortgage protection or new to mortgage protection that are here to kind of help, solidify their confidence?
Yeah. Maybe that's a great word. I was going to say maybe that confidence. I know sometimes a lot of agents will come into our business, especially mortgage protection. And I usually define agents as 2 different types of people. There is students, and then there's the doers. Do not become a student, okay? You do not need to know everything about every single insurance company, about when it was founded or the rating of the company or anything like that at all, or even product training, right? You always have to remember you're gonna know more than the client does. And again, everything is gonna be coming down to confidence. If you're going into a presentation and you're saying, mortgage protection does this, it'll take care of your house, take care of your family, no one's buying from you. But if you're passionate about what you're doing, even if you don't even know half the stuff you're talking about or the company they're going to use or whatever, they're buying you. Remember, they're buying you. They could care less which insurance company they're going to use because most of them haven't even heard of the companies that we use anyways. So that's maybe my biggest point is believe in the process. Don't be so caught up with all of the wording of the scripts. Don't get caught up with the actual, which company am I going to use? Our job is to help you with that. So another thing too, that I have no problem taking this with individual agents as well. If people call me and they say, I'm about to go into a house with a 47-year-old male, he has a $300,000 mortgage. What's my plan A, plan B, and plan C? We can talk about it. You can put it in your Slack channel really quick. Finding the right product is easy. Selling it is something differently entirely. Okay, so that's maybe my last point to talk about coming into the mortgage protection market.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Spencer, thank you so much for coming on board, for just pouring into agents and teaching them about mortgage protection, what you do. I can see why you are the master. So for everyone that's coming on board and anyone that's coming on board between now and the end of this year, a challenge has been issued. Starting January 1st until the end of the month, every agent has a chance to beat the president of the company, Spencer Long, in mortgage protection. Okay. So I think we should probably set some parameters here. Okay. I think they have to get the same amount of leads. So it's got to be equal playing field. So it can't be like they get 30 leads a week and just like fill their whole calendar. They got to get 10 leads a week, just like you do.
Oh, that's up to you, Greg.
I say it's got to be equal playing field.
Okay.
10 leads a week.
Okay.
10 leads a week. Okay. And they get to compete. So that means between now and then, if you make a big old book of business between now and then, and you have some clients that you want to call on, that's fine. It's just 10 leads a week. Okay. 10 leads a week over the month of January. And whoever beats Spencer in net issue paid production by the end of the month, you get $10,000.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's see who wins.
By the way, I was not a part of this discussion when Chris put it on blast out there.
Chris put it out yesterday.
Come on, I got things I got to do.
Hey man, January's gonna be packed for you now.
But my wife too. My wife is so funny. She knows I'm a competitor, and she's like, that means I'm probably not even going to see you in the month of January because you're making sure that you're beating everybody out there. So I do welcome the competition though, and I'm looking forward to seeing what people can do.
I think there's going to be some grinders that are, I can already tell you right now, there's some grinders that are coming on board that are like top producers that are going to love this. Just love the competition fact. Not only just winning $10,000, but not only $10,000, but we're going to fly you out. We're going to fly you out to California. And we're gonna get you on a podcast where I'll talk about this, and we're gonna give you a big old check on camera. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be awesome. Any last words before we part?
No, guys. Again, I appreciate once more all the support coming from Quility and the Evangel Brokers team. I appreciate everything you're doing as well, Greg. I think this is absolutely huge, and I know a lot of these agents get a lot of value, and I can see why from these podcasts. So I just want to say thank you to you as well. Keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely. And again, guys, let's blow this thing up.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button so that you can see all future training that's coming out. We're trying to get training that comes out every single day, and I think we're going to hit it now. Also, turn your notifications so that you can be notified every single time that one of these training hits. Until next.